Micky, we'll start off with injury news. Latest on Tom Davies and Paul Lewis.
Tom Davies is back in training, so full training today. Paul Lewis, we had a scan the other day. He's damaged his hamstring, but it's maybe not as bad as what we first feared. But we'll see how that goes in the next minimum couple of weeks anyway. So, but it looks like it's better news than what we first thought we were going to get.
So mixed news on Lewis, but unfortunately, isn't it? Because he was really starting to maybe start himself in the team last few weeks. Few good performances.
Yeah, because we're getting some good rotation in the positions at the front and top end of the pitch, which is important that we can do that and try and freshen it up and keep the competition up there. So yeah, to lose one of them is disappointing, but it's just up to the lads that are still available to keep pushing things forward with in the goal front.
Just quickly, any other bumps and bruises going into Saturday?
No, we should be okay. We've looked after the group this week and we managed to use the squad to get us through Tuesday night's game. So we never came out of that we much either. Ethan Bristol's got a bit of a thigh strain, never trained today, so we'll see how he is tomorrow. But apart from that, we're okay.
Overall, at the moment, I mean, the mood can't be much better, can it, amongst the whole squad?
Obviously, winning games is what football's all about, but we don't allow things to get too high or too low. That's not the way that we set the environment up to be here. It's never been like that. But obviously, winning is what football's all about. But the message is still the same. We've got to keep pushing forward and keep producing the performances and keep that mentality and that attitude all the time to keep things moving forward. Because the minute that you believe that you're going to get given anything, or it hasn't just been pure hard work and attitude that's got us the results that we've got, then we'll find ourselves in trouble. So no, we have to keep pushing it forward and keep the standards high. But I would be honest and say that we try and keep the place level-headed anyway. Like I say, we don't get too low or too high, but we're here to back into work again and work towards the next game.
And you spoke about the rotation in midweek as well, even for that group of players to get a win under the belt and keep the good feeling amongst the whole group going well. That was an important as well, wasn't it?
Of course, yeah, because a lot of young players playing, a lot of boys needing match minutes, some coming back from injury as well. So it was important. It's always good if their games go well for you, because you're through, if you like, with all due respect, you put a group of players together. So they're not a team. They've not been working together and building relationships or anything like that. It's a group of players that needed a game, but they've been watching everything that we've been doing and all the training sessions, and for them to go and carry out the work that we had been doing was really satisfying. I was really pleased. So now the sitting here today, the club's in a really good place.
And just lastly, on that win on Tuesday, I know you've said previously about putting the team together for the game as opposed to actually it being a team compared to the league fixtures. How much will you be watching Crewe against Leeds next month regarding if you get through to the next round or not? How seriously are you going to take that game?
But when it comes around, we'll need to be serious enough to know what the result is to see what's happening for ourselves. But now it's league, back to the league, back to the bread and butter, back to really what we need to be winning games in and want to be performing well in. So no, I'm absolutely not even thinking about it now. But of course, when the game comes around, we'll need to pay attention to see what the outcome of the group is.
The defensive record at the moment is quite remarkable. And Kane Hemmings last week, he spoke about the partnership between Jordan Turnbull and Dinal Simu. What makes their relationship so good at the moment? Good
players. I never sit here and try and overplay my part or I try and keep things simple all the time. It's about good players performing well, doing the things that's necessary in order to keep clean sheets consistently. It is no more than that. Good footballers just playing consistently well. And our job is just to keep the standards of that up and keep helping to try and improve them, keep them facing in the right direction. But I don't think we have much problem with that with him because, again, good players have good attitudes more and most of the time, and that's what happens. So, no, again, All the back four, or the lads that have played in the back four, have done well, but you'd always have to say it's about the group, because the least amount the back four have to defend is all about then the front players not allowing the ball to get played forward and put under pressure, and the midfield players getting in behind that. So it's been a big group effort to try and get us to the place that we are today.
And Jordan and Donnell, you know, as you said earlier, Tom Davis back in training now, and he played so well last season. That's an emphasis on them to keep their performances good, to stay in the team and keep Davis out effectively, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what it's got to be about, because that can. I spoke a couple of weeks ago about saying that we had lack of competition for places, and I just believed that people had become a wee bit thinking that they had another chance to play on Saturday if they didn't perform this week. Now we're getting to a place where the performance on Tuesday night, some of the injured players coming back. Now you look at it and you think, well, I'll have other options if things don't quite go their way for this game. So that's good for the health of the group. But we've all got to remain professional, and the ones that are not playing have got to keep their fitness levels up and play the way that they'll be expected to play if they get their opportunity to come in. But it's healthy for the football club.
And at the other end of the pitch, it's been a great week for Elliot Nevitt. 2 substitute appearances, 3 goals. Over the last year and a half, just how impressed have you been with his adaptation to life at the EFL?
Oh, it's been huge from the level he's came to the condition that he's got himself into. But he's only just got himself into the condition that everybody else is in anyway. That was important. So he's done well to get to the condition that the rest of the players are in. He's training well every day. We have to keep on remembering sometimes that this is only the start of his probably second season in professional football. But I still think that there's growth in him. I still believe that he can keep improving. He's certainly going in the right direction, and he's scoring goals for us, which is great. So no, we're really pleased with him, really pleased, and believe that we can keep pushing him forward.
And there were 3 really different kinds of goals as well, weren't they? So how beneficial is it when you have a forward player that can give you so many routes to goals as well? Very.
The things that we've been working on, Elliot, we're getting across the front of people in the 18-yard box and being more aggressive and making better runs, shooting with his left foot, shooting on the run, all that kind of stuff, movement. It's great to see that it's come to fruition now. He's taken it on board yet. That's things that I'm capable of, and if I do it right, there'll be opportunities there for me to score goals. So working in that with him and try to turn them into a smart forward. So to see him taking the different types of goals is good. But we'll keep pushing him along, like I say, and keep trying to get him better. But it's good to see that he's starting to score different goals.
And just lastly on individuals, Leo O'Connor got the assist for Elliot. I think might have tried to play it himself last Friday. But I think you've talked recently about the experience of getting away with the Ireland 21s now, and he's obviously played for the Republic of Ireland as well. How much is he benefiting from playing some international football as well? Are you seeing a growth in him as a player?
I see a growth in all of them. I really do. I keep saying everything we said at the start of the season what was going to happen, and we might have gone through some tough times with a young group and an inexperienced group. We just didn't know when or where they were all going to be at. And now it's good to see that they're starting to grow and get to a place where we're getting results with them still being able to develop. So that's good, because that keeps things at bay, if you like, in terms of outside noise, because they're young development players and you want them just to focus on playing. So if we can get them playing and winning games, and then the things die down a wee bit, that's great for their development, because they're just getting encouragement then. So that's good. Lee obviously goes away with Ireland, and that's fantastic for him to go in among players of international level. But he's playing beside Chris Mariano, who is really developing for us as well. We've had a lot of hard work with Chris as well, and he's developing into a really good footballer as well. And they've made a good partnership. So now it's up to everybody else to try and get him out, if you like. That's what we want to try and do. But no, it's good to see them all. The young midfield players blossom. You think McCleary, I mean, he's 20, he's the youngest of them all. Sometimes people forget about that. So got a lot of good lads in there with a lot of promise. Keep trying to push them along and just try to keep winning games and keep moving the football club forward.
And it's another away day on Saturday. We can now talk about the away record in the winning aspect as well. 4 away wins in a row, 4 away clean sheets as well. How much do you feel like you turned the corner away from home?
Believe it or not, we're not doing any different. Nothing any different in terms of what we're asking the players to do. So, again, it's just about players doing good things more or most of the time. We aren't doing anything any different than when we were getting asked the question. I'd love to say criticism, because everybody goes, Micky thinks we're criticising them. No, we were getting some feedback that people didn't believe that we were performing well enough on the road. But I think if you look at the last 11 games of the season, I think we lost 1 or 2 games of the last 11, so you can get carried away with that sometimes. We always had our eye on knowing that if the players became to a level, then they did the things that was necessary well, and they did them consistently, we would get results. And it's just good players doing good things now. So good players performing well, and that's what they're doing on the road.
Does that make it strange or slightly frustrating that you weren't getting the away wins before recently, in terms of not doing anything differently?
It can do, but as long as you know what it is that they're not doing well, as long as it would be more frustrating if we never knew. But we analyse games here with a fine-tooth comb. We go through it step by step. We watch games over and over again. And we would go back onto the training pitch and practice that over and over and over again. So I think it would be more frustrating if we didn't have our finger on or our eye on what it was that we had to believe, what we had to do to believe that we're going to get results, and then not be able to take that onto the grass and practice that on the screens and watch it back, the footage back again, or watch training back again. But we knew. We knew what we had to get better at, and now we're seeing that now. But what we've got to do is keep trying to get us better, get us slicker, get us quicker, get us think quicker, think more composed, to try and keep moving the players forward, keep challenging them, keep saying, no, can we get that down to this? Or so just keep pushing them along.
And on Harrogate, it's been a big week for them as well, hasn't it? They were winless since mid-August, but winning the league, winning the cup. How much of a different Harrogate are you expecting to face from the team that was winless before that?
I always know that going up to Harrogate is always a really tough game. I think last year we drew 2-2 there in a basketball game that went end to end, and it could have went either way at any time. So it'll be a game again against a really tough opposition who usually do really well at home, and they'll be looking forward to playing against us. So we go up there knowing that, as I always say, and I mean this, we're going to have to be near our best again, or absolutely at our best, to go and get something. So it'll be, again, like I just said, good players going out there and performing in the right way, doing the good things that we know that we are capable of doing, to try and get a result. And
there'd be a battle between 2 managers who are part of the fabrics of their respective clubs, isn't it? With obviously yourself here, Tranmere, and Simon Weaver doing a great job at Harrogate.
I'm part of the fabric. That's good. I think that's a good thing. You have to win a lot of games of football to stay at football clubs for any kind of period of time now, as you see, because it's got even more chop and change, because of I don't know, what a communication that people can have with everybody now, and gain more opinion about games than what they maybe did years ago. So you've got to win a lot of games in order to try and, as I say, keep the wolf from the door at times. And Simon's obviously been able to do that, and we've had to be able to do that here, because you've got to win games of football to keep to stay at clubs and become, as you say, part of the fabric, part of the fabric of the club. But that fabric can be quickly unwound, and somebody else woven into it. So you've got to keep winning games. But Simon's managed to do that, and fair play to him for that. And that's what every manager who's been at any football club for any length of time would have to do. So no, it's good. It's so I'm looking forward to meeting up with him, and we always have good games against him.
Men in a good way, don't worry, Micky. Just last of all, away from on the pitch, if you like, It's been a month or so since James Vaughan left the club to go to Everton. I know it's all about games at the moment as opposed to transfer window coming up in January, but has that, even at this stage, has that impacted maybe your plans going forward for January, just because you were starting to get more players on a permanent basis? How much has that departure changed plans, perhaps?
There's no doubt that losing James was a big blow, because he was very, very good at the role, and was a big part in all the players that are here. So there's no doubt it was a big blow, but we're well organised from the top, and I know that I don't need to say that if I didn't think we were. So there's no need for maybe MD out there saying, "Oh, there's Micky trying to give compliments to the owner and all the rest," because I don't need to do that, because you said I'm part of the fabric here. I don't, a wee bit further down the line and needing to do that anymore. But we're very well organised from the top. We've got a chairman who's organised massive companies in his time and has a handle on everything. So there would always be a contingency or an ongoing planner for everything that we're doing, and that's all we're doing now, is we're doing what we would do, and what we've been organised all the way right through for anybody that was going to move on. It's important that the processes and the ways of doing things at the football club continue to happen if anybody leaves, and that's the place that we got to a wee while ago now, like a year ago now, so that the club has found a way to function now, and it'll keep doing that now, and it won't be about the individuals anymore. So no, we've got on it, and we're still full steam ahead with everything we're doing, and even in this morning, talking about all sorts of players and who we believe that we may be able to bring in, or who's particularly doing well for the future. So it's an ongoing thing all the time, that's very well organised. So yeah, we miss James because he was brilliant at his role, and he was also a really good guy. But things are as they were, so just carrying on.